I was talking for like 15 minutes and realized that I didn't press record. Anyway, hello, my name is Catherine and welcome to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I post book and lifestyle videos on this channel, and excuse the shadows, the sun. It is such a wonderful day today. I feel so inspired to film this video, but the sun is shining right in my face, and also excuse any background noises. My kitten might be playing around. At the moment he is sleeping in his box, but he might just start running around, so excuse that. So today it is time to talk about my 2025 low buy, and I wasn't actually planning to film this video. I thought, you know what, I failed this year, I feel ashamed of talking about it, but I feel like I need to address things. And when I start thinking about it, I realized that I didn't actually fail as much as I made myself believe. So I am a pretty critical person, and I am all or nothing person in all areas of my life. When I started spending more money towards the middle of the year, I just realized that I'm failing, and I might as well just keep spending. And if we talk about different categories that I had at the beginning of the year, forget about that. Forget. I think I have bought something from every single category that I said I'm not allowed to. That is just ridiculous. Like, I have to look through, but I think I literally think I have spent at least some money in every category that I said I am not gonna spend money on those categories this year. Yeah. But I feel like moderation and mindful shopping is much more important than setting rules for myself that I break and then feel guilty and then continue spending and then feel guilty again. I'm gonna talk about it more in my 2026 plans, but yeah, if we look at the the rules of my 2025 low buy, then I definitely have failed. I was doing really well the first 3 months of the year. I even filmed an update in January. I was planning to film updates every single month, I swear. I was tracking, I was on top of it. I was planning to do videos like I did in January with stats. I was motivated to do that, and then as the year went on, I was just lazy. I'm not gonna lie, I was just lazy, and I was spending money, and I was ashamed. And to be honest, I don't think I was spending more money than your average shopper, but for me, I definitely felt like I had some impulse purchases this year that I didn't need to have, and I did buy more things that I would love to admit. Like, for example, as you can see, I have pretty full bookshelves, pretty full of plants and pretty full of books. I only put books that I have read on my shelves, but I have quite a bit of plants. My mom actually gave a lot of cuttings from her plants, but I also bought quite a bit with my own money. So as I moved in last year, it was winter. I didn't really buy plants because it's not very good to buy houseplants in winter, but when spring came, I started purchasing plants again, and I think I went crazy in like August to October when we first ordered from a Polish plant shop, and we had amazing experience, and we went in and ordered again in October. But we also purchased quite a bit of plants in our local shops as well, and more often than not, what we would do is either my mom would buy something or I would buy something, and then we would just separate cuttings and just share, which definitely lowers the cost of the plant. But still, I feel like I spent more money on plants. That I think my allowance was like 3 plants, but yeah, it's not 3 plants. I swear I accumulated way more than 3 plants, and I also accumulated way more books that I was allowed. I actually need to count, but I think that based on my rule of buying one book per every 3 books read, Yeah, I did buy way more. And at the moment, I have read 75 books this year, and my rule was to buy one book per every three books read and per every three physical books from my physical shelf. And yeah, that did not work. I think I have read like 30 books from my physical shelf, maybe, if that. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. No, I think, no, I think even less because I think I read 10 ebooks and like 20 physical books this year because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. And oh, we're going to talk about audiobooks as well because I need to address that. But I definitely have spent more money on that. I did buy some of books with my gift card and gift money, but yeah, yeah. I would like to spend less money on books next year, but buying books is a whole new hobby of mine. Okay, okay. As I said, we're gonna talk about audiobooks. I've been listening to audiobooks on YouTube, but the quality is just horrible, and I've been looking for ways to get Libby, and there is so I got a non-resident card at Queen's Public Library, and I think the fee was like 40 euros or 35 euros or something, but then you get an official library card for an entire year, and it's much, much better. The quality is so good, and I think I've already listened to 20 audiobooks since getting it at the end of October, so it's well worth the money. But technically, I didn't need that because that is a subscription, and technically, I was not allowed to buy that. And I also broke my rules with buying clothes and shoes and other stuff. I honestly, yeah, like I said, I have bought something from every category that I was not allowed to buy. And for example, as soon as my low buy started, my old winter boots broke and I needed new ones. And I was feeling guilty for buying boots so early on and spending my allowance so early on that my mom actually bought me winter boots, and I was feeling so guilty about that. And then towards the middle of the year, I was attending two weddings and I didn't have dresses to go to those weddings. And technically, I could rent them out, but to be honest, when I checked prices, it was way cheaper to buy new dresses and have them. And in the future, if I have to attend any weddings, I now have like three dresses that I can wear. But both of those weddings were in different color schemes, and so I just couldn't wear the same dress to both of those weddings. And I also needed a pair of shoes, and then towards the end of the year I also bought a few shoes. There was a sale of buying two shoes for price of one, and technically I didn't need those shoes, but I really wanted them, so I did buy them. And also towards the end of the year I realized that I don't really have any winter clothes to wear to work, like cardigans and such. I swear I had one hoodie that I was wearing, and that is not nice to have just one hoodie to wear to work. That is just not nice. And I spent a little bit of money on new clothes because this year I also lost a little bit of weight. I'm gaining it back, but yeah, I'm starting fresh in the new year. As I said, I'm all or nothing person. So like in December, I started eating like crap, and that's a whole different story. But anyway, I lost some weight this year, and when I was trying on some of my old clothes, they did not fit me well, and I hated the way I looked in them, and so I had to just, I don't want to look like a homeless person. I am a preschool teacher, and I don't want to look like a homeless person at work because I work with people, right? So technically, I didn't absolutely need those things, but I honestly I don't regret purchasing them. Although I did feel guilty at that moment, I don't regret. I don't regret any single purchase. Well, maybe I do regret a few, but I actually was allowed to buy them. But that's like a funny story. That is funny, but I regret buying a few kitchen items that I actually never use, but I was technically allowed to buy them. And then things that I was not allowed to buy, I do not regret purchasing them. That is, how funny is that? I don't know, this video is all over the place, but anyway. I need to stop blabbering. So what I learned this year is literally moderation is key, and setting myself in a frame and telling myself you cannot buy stuff from these categories does not work for me, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if I have spent 20 euros on a new sweater that I really wanted, or the same amount of money on kitchen items that I never use in the end, but I was allowed to buy those kitchen items, and so I went in and spent that money anyway. Because for me, in the end, it's much more important how much money I have saved. And oh boy, when I looked at my charts, I did actually save quite a bit of money. So um, I I think I saved more than half of my yearly income, which is absolutely incredible. So I do pay mortgage, and I pay mortgage every month, but I was able to pay 2,000 euros extra, and for me that is quite a bit, because when I bought this apartment, I told myself that I don't want to be tied to this place and to this debt until I pay it off. I want to live as well, and it was very important to me that I would go traveling. While I can, I will be traveling, and I will be spending money on travel, and I did spend quite a bit of money during my summer vacation. I went to East Asia, China, Taiwan, Korea, and Japan, and I had the best time of my life, and I do not regret anything. I could have spent a bit less on some items there, but I was on vacation. I was enjoying my life, okay? And I do not regret buying anything. And like, especially, I went a little bit crazy in Korea. I stumbled upon this mask shop, and it was so cheap. And Korean skincare is very popular. It's like worldwide popular. It is so good. And the mask shop, it was so cheap that I bought so many masks and creams and stuff. And I definitely, seeing other girls' cards, I was like, okay, I'm only getting this, like, this little, like everyone else was getting so much stuff, but based on my personal standards, I definitely overspend, and definitely spend a little bit more than necessary, and get more stuff than necessary. Again, do not regret. I'm using that skincare, and I love it. And I bought some of that skincare for my mom and my aunt as gifts, and I do not regret it. So to conclude this video, if we look at my beginning of the year rules, then I definitely did fail because I did not follow those rules. But if we look at the amount of money saved, then I would say that it was a pretty decent year with everything that with all of my expenses right now. So yeah, previously I lived with my parents, and so I didn't have to pay mortgage, I didn't have to pay bills. I did give my mom some money every single month, but it definitely wasn't this much. And yeah, I am purchasing everything with my own money, aside from some expenses that my mom decides to gift me. But overall, I'm paying for everything myself. And with that being said, I would say that saving half, even more than half of my yearly income is still good. And actually, most of that money is gone already, so only half of that money is still in my bank account, because so I have I think I have four different savings accounts. So I have travel account, I have sinking fund, I have account for home, and then I have a fourth account for like my future dream trip somewhere big, that's where I can't save in 1 year. So I've been putting like 10-20 euros every month for that. But again, if I really need that money, I will just use it. And also I bought new glasses. They were expensive, let me tell you. They were 600 euros. Like, can you imagine? That is like half my salary. That is half my monthly salary. And if not for my sinking fund, I don't know, I would be screwed, honestly. And so in the end, I'm counting every single euro that I was able to save, regardless if it's still in my bank account or if I have already spent it. So every month I have multiple different categories, and every month I tracked how much money I saved in each of those categories. And even if I spend that money next month, it doesn't matter, because last month I was able to save that money. I hope it makes sense. Anyway. And the last thing, I adopted a kitten in November, and if you own a pet, you know that it comes with its own expenses. Like, I have never had a cat, so I had 0 items for my cat, but I'm so happy. I honestly, it's the best thing that happened to me this year. He is the sweetest little boy, and he's sleeping in his box right now, but he is the sweetest little boy. And I love him so much. I've only had him for 2 months, even less than that, but he means so much to me already. Like, I don't know. Even with expenses, I am willing to spend that money on him. He has a vet appointment tomorrow. He's getting his first vaccine, and yeah, like there will be some medical expenses next year for him. But yeah, honestly, yeah. I think I will finish this video on this good note, on this positive note, and although I did not follow every single rule that I set for myself at the beginning of the year, I would still say that in the end, I did not do as bad as I sometimes thought. So yeah, let me know how your 2025 went, and do you have any plans going forward? I will be filming a separate video of my 2026 plans. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye!